Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Surviving Our Podcast, and welcome back to Pride in the Tribe, where all Pride Month long we are celebrating the best LGBTQ plus moments in Survivor history with some special guests. And today I've got one of my personal favourites. Love them dearly. Please welcome from Survivor UK 2023, the lovely Ren. Ren, how are we doing?
Good to see you again.
Always. It's always a great time. It's always
oh my
a great
god,
time.
that picture I've just seen come up, that is so dorky.
the one under me or the one under you?
The one under you. Of all of the ones they picked, I was like, oh, okay.
This was not me. I'm going to say this was not me now, but no. Ren, thank you so much for joining me on this. No lie, when it came to Pride in the Tribe and I was thinking, who do I want? Obviously, I was like, we need to get Ren on here. So first things first, though, how have you been since your season? How is the life of Ren?
Good, busy, exciting stuff. You can see my really bare flat behind me. We're moving, so that's really cute. Me and my partner live together now. Oh, lovely.
That's
so
romantic.
Yeah, other than that, remain in London, getting back to Derby post-top surgery, so that's really nice. And just living my best London life before I inevitably escape to the countryside in 2 to 3 years' time.
You'll get there soon. And you did mention it. I do just want to say, well done and congratulations on your top surgery. I saw that on Instagram and everything. How's all that been going? I hope everything's been healing nicely and it's all been going well for you.
Like, literally the best thing ever. It's been healing so well. Took time off climbing, which was like rubbish, but I also kind of thought, hey, I have these scars forever. And okay, yeah, the scars are great, but also if I can do my best to make them smaller, I will. So I did. And yeah, just everything is so great. I can wear clothes I want to wear now.
Yes, and I can say, everyone go follow Ren, because the clothes, the outfits, I saw when you were doing your monthly little recaps of what's been happening, like the clothes, we all know me, I love clothes. So I was like, you got the Ollie stamp of approval.
I appreciate that.
But obviously, we are heading into Pride Month, or for this now, we are in Pride Month. So I've got a very important question to ask you, Ren, which is, what does Pride mean to you?
I think it means a lot, especially at the moment. I definitely, it's nice for Pride to be a fun thing that people celebrate queerness. I think that's obviously great. But I think right now, especially for trans people, like Pride is definitely needing to go back to its roots as a protest. And not that it's not a protest anymore, but like trans Pride in particular is a very different energy to, say, London Pride. And like that for me is where it's at. It's like visibility without awareness is just dangerous. And like Pride needs to bring actual genuine awareness to people as to what people are doing. Serious stuff at the moment, for sure.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I mean, obviously, both of us being British, we know what is going on with our kind of political circle. We condemn it. And just not just here, but in the US, all around the world, there is stuff that is coming out of the woodworks that means that Pride means something now more than we've seen in recent years, like especially in the last kind of decade. We've had some great strides, but now we have to kind of put our foot down a bit and go, let's remember people. So obviously you are a lovely contestant of Survivor UK, and it would be remiss of me to not link back a kind of little moment from Survivor for you. And for me, that moment is just, it's going to sound weird, yourself. Because you were the first non-binary contestant on Survivor UK. And actually, you're only one of technically now 3 non-binary contestants. I would just say Phil from Survivor AU, Brains vs. Brawns, and the lovely Evie from Survivor 41 in America. So my question to you is, what was it like knowing and going on to the show, kind of knowing that you were going to be kind of the first non-binary contestant on Survivor UK and kind of one of the few in the franchise? And what was that feeling like?
Honestly, I thought about it probably more, like, it concerned me more than it should have done. Did those concerns prove valid? I would say no in a lot of ways, but also yes in a lot of ways. But I watched Phil's season to try and see how they had approached it, and it wasn't even mentioned. Poof! I was like, okay, so that's given me no intel. That's really good for me. Cool. So I definitely sort of overthought how it was going to be presented, and there was this really awkward. I don't think they even used the footage, but when we first arrived in our in Lanetta, we stood in our little semicircle. They made a stand facing a camera and all say our names, ages, and where we were from. It was just so awkward going down the line. It got to me, and then I was like, and by the way. So yeah, definitely really overthought it. But also I was really excited for it because it took me a really long time to not to come out once I sort of knew who I was, but a really long time to know that non-binary people existed. Yeah. So it was really exciting to have that as a prospect, that people actually might see that on television and be aware that that's something that sort of is out there and might suit how you're feeling, and you don't necessarily have a name for it before.
Yeah. Yeah, and I completely agree. Even though we didn't necessarily see it have its really big, bold moment that I personally feel like it should have on the show, you were still there as representation. Did you get any kind of fan reaction from that? How have the fans been to that? If you have had any, if you want to share any stories?
I would say I've had some really really just lovely messages from people, sort of parents whose children saw me on the show and said oh, this seeing you gave my child this sort of a way to explain to me how they were feeling about themselves, and sort of some nice positive messages of representation. I've shed a few tears. It's in general been very positive. Well, I say actually not even in general. I've very fortunately only had positive experiences, and I think that's perhaps to do with it not rocket launching into popularity in the UK. But yeah, it's been really, really good, and I feel as though it has had the sort of positive impact that was a nice byproduct of me achieving my life dream.
Yeah, and your life dream, I'm vicariously living through you on that moment, as we know. But no, I think I just want you to know that you're completely right, Ren. You being that representation is what has been needed. I mean, obviously after you, we did see Teeny go into 47, and they are now a proud trans man, so we give all our props to Teeny. But kind of going back to you and kind of the non-binary representation on Survivor, what does it mean to have that representation now more than ever? But hopefully we get to see more of that representation seen in other franchises.
Yeah, I would love to see it. It's sort of, there's not obviously a huge number of non-binary people in the world, and it just, sorry, I forgot what the original question was. I just got sidetracked.
You're fine. Obviously, knowing that there was kind of few of you, that has been that representation, what does that representation mean? And moving, and kind of just in general moving forward, being able to hopefully see more of that.
Yeah, it is huge. It means really, really positive things, and it's the awareness basically of it. I think also, especially when you talk about there's been a lot of talk about trans people recently, and people think of it in a very binary sense, but actually it's not in a binary sense at all. And all that word means is you are not the gender that you were assigned at birth.
Yep.
And so it even took me sort of a while. I was like, oh, I don't think I'm trans. Obviously I am trans. Yes, that is what I am. But I almost sort of I think I would have got there a lot quicker had I seen more of this representation. Yeah. And so I'm really hopeful to see hopefully more of it as we go through. And I think we are, for every negative story, you see more people coming out in the public eye, which is really positive.
Yeah, And it's that beautiful silver lining we've got. And even though we're not going to have any more kind of UK season, sad, you being that representation anyway is going to help people no matter what. I know people that have like kind of messaged me and gone, hey, I'm just about to start Survivor UK. So knowing that regardless, people are still going to watch and see you and kind of other non-binary people be that visibility and be that representation. It's little steps to more acceptance. So just well done, pat on the back, everything, just well done. Moving on now slightly, I know you are a massive Survivor fan. For those of you that don't know, when we met up, I think we spoke just 2 hours straight on Survivor.
Yeah, literally nothing else.
Yeah. So can you also think of a Survivor LGBTQ plus moment that really sticks out to you and that you want to kind of speak on?
Ooh. I'm unprepared for this. I think the one that stands out to me actually was in that season where Jeff moved away from using "Come on in, guys."
Survivor 41.
Yeah, I am very bad at season numbers, as you know. But that was sort of a standout moment to me for kind of a bunch of reasons. A, because like that's really cool that was addressed. Like Survivor isn't a show that needs to stay stuck in its ways. Like it can and has evolved, which is really good and positive. And it does that in front of everyone, which is a really big positive for a show, especially like, come on, you can't be doing the same things you're doing 20 years ago.
Yeah.
But I also think it was interesting because to some people, guys is not gender neutral. To other people, guys is. And so we even saw that like dichotomy in the episode itself. And yeah, I thought that was cool, interesting, great conversation to have on TV.
Yeah.
And it was like just done in such a non-awkward, just casual way. Like, okay, great. And now we've had this conversation. I will stop using it. Yeah. And that's what it needs to be.
I completely agree. Yeah, like how Jeff handled it was so well done in his like person as someone who is not a part of the LGBTQ plus community and who is an ally. That was a great way to show allyship in the sense of like, this is how I'm going to handle it. Great, thank you so much. Like, we know that sometimes, depending on what we're talking about when it comes to constructive criticism, and Jeff, we know that sometimes it's not there, but in this moment it was. And to give more context to fans on what we're speaking on season 41. This was the season just after COVID, like they were all coming back. And obviously we had a lot happening in the world. And it was actually, what I found really interesting about that moment, it was obviously Jeff addressing it to Evie, who at that moment was the first non-binary contestant on Survivor US, and kind of being like, how would you feel? How does everyone feel about this? And at first, no one said anything. Everyone was like, no, it's fine. We'll keep going. And then it was actually Ricard, who is gay. He is sees himself as a cis male, but he is gay. And I love the fact he stood up and was like, actually, no. This is something that I feel like we need to change the language on. And I appreciated Ricard for doing that. And I appreciated seeing it, like you said, done in such just a more casual, not like this big thing that needed to be like explosions and everything. Like it was just, there was calmness there. So thank you for bringing it up. Anything else you want to touch on there or?
No, I don't think so. I just I like that moment. I think it was done well. And I think also like whilst guys could be non-offensive to some people, to others it could not be. So it's good to either check with every group or just have a universal no on it. And I think it was handled very well. Yeah,
agreed. So I've got a couple more questions for you, Ren. Okay. And this is where kind of it's my fun question of this kind of little podcast we do. I need you.
Right.
This is where you thought the other one was on the spot. This is on the spot.
Oh no.
I need you to pick 5 other castaways to be a part of your Survivor LGBT plus dream team.
Oh my God. Hannah and I have spoken about this. We want a gay season of Survivor. We want that so badly.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we think it would be so good for a lot of reasons. But yes, so Hannah is definitely obviously on there.
Hannah, from Survivor UK.
Yes, Hannah from Survivor UK is very much on there. Oh, I really don't know. This is a rogue pick. Oh my god, wait, no, what was her name? Claire.
Claire, Claire from 44.
I could not get enough of Claire's like sash and facial expressions with the romance happening. That was like very, very much enjoyable. Who else? I don't know if not negative or positive. I will say I don't necessarily know the sexuality of a lot of people on Survivor.
That's fine. That's what I mean. If there's people that you're thinking, I've got the database. I've got
you got the okay, good. Who else am I going to pick? See, I think I got to pick Evie because just like that was sort of a big part of like my Survivor journey, seeing their journey through Survivor. So that was like, I gotta go for that. And this is just gonna be a tribe of largely chaos, it seems. When you say dream team, you weren't very specific about the goals of us as a team. Like,
it's just on
an
island. Just dream team.
Okay. So we're vibing on an island. Well, maybe we'll win challengers. Who knows? Who am I going for? I kind of want to bring Carolyn.
Oh yes, that would be. Oh, see this team already. I'm loving. So keep going. You've got one more pick.
I feel as though I should bring a man. But maybe I shouldn't. I haven't seen a season in a while. But Zeke.
Yes. Zeke from Millennials versus Gen X and Game Changers.
Yeah. Like, also great. Enjoyed that storyline. Not really a storyline, but like, good. Think would be fun. Okay. Can bring some energy.
Just to confirm, Ren, on your dream team, you have got Hannah, your bestie from Survivor UK, who we love. Claire, the icon from 44.
Yes.
Evie, we love from 41. The chaotic queen herself. Carolyn from 44 as well. And to round things up, you have got Zeke from Millennials versus Gen X and Game Changers. That was a good one. Well done.
If you're going to give me a list now and I was going to go through it, I'd be like, maybe I'll have to give you a refined list later on. Maybe. I don't know. But no, I love this. You got to go with your gut. I can expand it to a tribe of 10. How's that?
That will be after the stream. We're going to stay on and we're gonna.
Okay, great. You can give me the data.
But we are kind of nearing the end of the stream now. So I do just want to ask you, Ren, do you have any final words for Pride Month, for Pride, and just something that you want people to remember kind of going into this Pride Month?
Yeah, I think this is kind of a big one. It feels like there's been a lot of quite major setbacks for like queer and trans rights.
Yeah.
And not just sort of, oh no, what might happen, like actual major setbacks. And so I just think whoever you are, ally, queer, whatever, like this is the time to show up. Like, the queer people in your life really need you.
Yeah, I mean, perfectly said, Ren. Ren, thank you so much. You know you are welcome on this podcast whenever. We will always just find a way. But thank you for joining me for Pride in the Tribe. Again, I love having you on, especially for being able to talk about these issues and just have an open conversation about it. So Thank you so much.
You are so welcome. I really enjoyed
And thank
them.
you everyone for watching. We hope that, you know, you keep watching. We've got some more Pride in the Tribe coming up. But for now, we will see you all later, and happy Pride.